Welcome everyone, I'm Emily with NS Montana Yoga. Thanks so much for joining me today. So go ahead and find a comfortable seated position to get started and just take a moment to come into whatever space it is that you're using. Anchoring down to the sitting bones, stacking the spine up one bone at a time. Roll the shoulders up towards the ears, down the back, reaching up through the crown of the head. With the next inhale, start to deepen the breath, filling the belly, rib cage, up to the collarbones. Exhale, collarbones, rib cage, and the belly. Inhale, filling from the bottom all the way up to the top. Exhale from the top all the way down to the bottom. Taking a couple more breaths like this, making each a little bit longer, a little fuller than the one before it. Just noticing whatever comes up. Maybe some part of your body is talking to you today, or some thought that's rummaging around in your brain. Just notice it, acknowledge it, and then bring the focus back to the breath. In and out through the nose. At the top of the next inhale, hold the breath for a moment, feeling that fullness. And exhale it completely through the mouth, using the belly to press out the last bit of air. Let your breath come back to a natural rhythm, in and out through the nose. You can come back to that breath at any point during our practice. Just find your level of effort and ease wherever you're at today. So as you exhale, drop the chin to the chest. Inhale, roll the right ear over towards the right shoulder and pause. Finding some length in the side of the neck. And exhale, chin to chest. Inhale, left ear over to the left shoulder. See how the other side feels. Exhale, chin to chest. Inhale, the right ear towards the right shoulder, and then continue circling the head and neck all the way around. Making some nice big circles with the nose. If you run into those sticky spots, you can stop and work back and forth across it. Switching directions as you're ready. Just getting all of those nice juicy movements in the neck. And then bring it up to center. Start to roll the shoulders up towards the ears and back a couple times. And then rolling them forward, maybe together, maybe one at a time. And hands to the legs. Just start to circle the torso nice and slow. Waking up the hips and the low back. Big or small movement. If you want, you can bring a little more movement into the spine. Really draw the chest forward and then scoop the belly back as you circle. Switching directions as you're ready. Just bring a little movement into all of those nooks and crannies. And coming to center. Good. So we'll take the palms of the hands together, and then we'll start to roll the wrists. So go ahead and roll the thumbs together in the back of the hands, so the fingers are pointing down, and circling it around. So pressing the palms together and then circling around to the backs of the hands, switching directions. Might look very different depending on your available range of motion, no worries. And then we'll just shake that out. So nice and loose in the hands. Next inhale, sweep both arms up overhead. And exhale the right hand down, reaching up and over to the right. Anchoring down into the left sitting bone. Just kind of rolling that top shoulder up to the sky. Arm nice and heavy into the hip socket. Finding all that length along the left side. And next exhale, we're going to bend the top elbow, draw it back and down, opening that side of the chest. Inhale to reach it long overhead. Exhale, draw it down, back. Inhale to reach. And exhale, draw it down and back. Good. Once more, inhale, reach long. And exhale to sweep it across center. Plant the left hand to the mat and reach the right arm up overhead. Switching sides, really heavy into that right sitting bone. Those bottom ribs are spinning forward as the top ribs spin back, finding length into both sides of the torso. Next, exhale, bend the top elbow, draw it down and back, opening that shoulder. Inhale, reach it long overhead. Twice more, exhale, pull it back. Inhale to extend. Exhale, down and back. And inhale to reach long. This time as you exhale, sweep the arms around in front of you, fingertips to the legs or the floor. Inhale to lengthen the spine, and exhale, folding forward any amount. Twice more, inhale, nice long spine, maybe lift the gaze. Exhale, ripple forward. Inhale, find that length. And exhale, folding forward and staying. So maybe finding a little side to side movement. Walk the hands over to one side and then the other. Maybe pressing back into the hands and into the hips. Whatever would feel good here. And then walk the hands back towards the legs to bring the torso up. Hands to the floor behind you, fingertips pointing towards the hips or maybe out to the side if that's more comfortable. And as you inhale, squeeze the shoulder blades, lift the chest, and find some opening in the front of the body. Maybe a gentle stretch into the wrists. Keeping a soft tuck to the chin, some length in the back of the neck. Another breath here. And then bring that up. If you have the legs crossed, go ahead and switch the direction of the cross. We'll just switch it up as long as that's comfortable for you. Inhale, sweep both arms up. And exhale, twist to the right. That hand comes across to the knee, right hand to the floor behind you. Inhales, find length and lift. And exhales, help deepen the twist. So just using this gentle leverage, maybe you can lift that hand up off the leg. Using some strength in the torso, really rolling that back shoulder open. Another breath here. And keeping the hand on the leg, inhale the right arm up and across towards that opposite knee. And then release it down. Drop the chin and really press back into the back body. Scooping the belly button in towards the spine. Breathing into the spaces between the vertebra, between the back ribs. Keeping the top hand where it is. Inhale the left arm up to the sky. And exhale it around to the floor behind you. Inhale to lengthen. And exhale, deepening your twist to the left. So again, just some gentle leverage from that hand on the leg. Just kind of using the breath, guiding things to open, twisting, wringing it out. And keeping the hand on the leg, inhale the left arm up to the sky and then overhead, reaching long before releasing it down to the opposite leg. With an exhale, drop the chin and press into the back body. Sending the breath there. And then release both hands to the floor behind you again. As you inhale, lift the chest, squeeze the shoulder blades. And exhale, fold forward any amount. Again, take a little time making those little adjustments so it feels good. And then from here, your choice. You can either roll forward over the legs or swing them around behind you for child's pose. Hips back towards the heels. Belly melts towards the thighs, letting the knees be a nice comfortable distance apart. And walk those arms out in front of you. Find a little side to side movement. And take a breath in, just coming up onto those fingertips so the arms are nice and active. And as you exhale, walk the hands off to the right, drawing back with the left hip. You can stay up on the fingertips or release the hands down. Maybe stacking the left hand over the right for a little more intense stretch. Just breathing into that space between the ribs. Another breath here. And inhale, walk it to center. And exhale across to the other side, maybe releasing the palms down. You can really drop that right shoulder towards the floor, maybe stacking the right hand over the left. Finding a little space between the hips and the rib cage. And then inhale it to center, releasing those forearms down, coming up onto the forearms, so shoulders stack over elbows. You can walk the knees in under the hips if you like. Just start circling the shoulders off to the side, drawing it forward, off to the other side, drawing it back. Just finding a little movement, switching directions as you're ready. And then bring it to center. And just like we did when we were seated, we're going to circle the shoulders up towards the ears, squeezing them back and down, and then drawing them forward. So in this instance, the shoulders aren't really moving. We're kind of moving the torso as the shoulders stay stationary. It's a little different point of view and perspective. Try it going the other way. Might be a little bit awkward. Just waking up the shoulder blades, making sure they're moving along the rib cage. And coming up onto all fours, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. You can shift a little side to side, kind of walking out the hands, making sure those fingers are nice and spread, maybe spinning the fingers out slightly so that your wrist creases line up with the front of your mat. Next, inhale, lift the tail, lift the chest and the gaze. Exhale, tuck the tail, round the spine, drop the head. Inhale, lift the tail, just slides forward for cow. And exhale, tuck the tail, rounding spine, pressing up into cat. Couple more rounds following the rhythm of your own breath. Make it nice and slow and juicy, starting with the tailbone, rippling it all the way up to the crown of the head. Activating each of those little bones, find the spots where the ribs attach to the spine and to the sternum in the front. Add a little side-to-side movement, kind of wagging your tail, maybe some circles with the hips or the rib cage. Whatever would feel good here. And from here, we'll move down to the belly. So feel free to take whatever path there you like, maybe coming to low plank first, finding a little strength there, pressing up between the shoulder blades before lowering down all in one piece. When you get there, tops of the feet press into the mat. Hands can come underneath the shoulders or maybe walk them back a little so they line up with those ribs. All right, so just start by activating the legs, pressing all 10 toes down. Maybe the kneecaps lift off the mat slightly. Rolling the shoulders back, kind of squeezing them together. Find that activation of the back body. Next, inhale, peel the chest up, keeping the gaze nice and soft off the tip of the nose. And then exhale to release it down. Inhale, lifting and lengthening long, baby cobra. Exhale to release. Inhale, lifting it up. And exhale, release, and take a break. You can stack the hands under the forehead, maybe bend the knees and windshield wiper the low legs side to side. Good. And then extend the arms out in front of you. As we're working here, you can keep the arms on the floor and just kind of barely hover them, move them forward and back. Or for more effort, really anchor down into the legs, pressing the hip points down and lift the chest and arms. Good. Find that drawing down of the shoulder blades like you were going to put them in your back pockets. Then as you exhale, bend the elbows, squeeze them down and back. Inhale, reach long. Exhale, pull them back. Inhale to reach. And once more, exhale, draw it back, squeezing the shoulder blades. Inhale, reach long. And exhale, release it down. Shift the hips, one ear or the other to the mat. And hands under the shoulders, take a breath in to prepare. And as you exhale, press it back to child's pose. You're welcome to stay there or spread the fingers, tuck the toes, and lift the hips back and up for your downward dog. For that first down dog, go ahead, keep the knees nice and bent, walk the feet out, press one heel towards the floor and then the other. If you're in child's pose, you can always come up to all fours and just kind of stretch the legs out behind you, maybe drawing some circles on the hips with a bent knee. And down dog, you can shift the hips side to side. And just finding a nice long spine wherever you're at. Another breath here. And soften the knees, look to the hands. We'll walk the feet up towards the hands, finding a soft forward fold. However, you get your feet on the mat and the butt in the air works just fine. Let the knees be nice and bent, torso hangs. You can let the arms dangle, maybe drawing some circles and some traction on the shoulders. Or hands can grab opposite elbows as you sway a little side to side. And release the hands towards the floor. As you inhale, bring the hands to the legs, flat back, lift the gaze. Exhale, soften and fold. Inhale, flat back, pulling those shoulder blades towards the waist. Exhale, release. Inhale, flat back, scooping the belly in. And exhale, release. This time as you inhale, tuck the tail, roll yourself up bone by bone. Bring the head up last. Take a couple rolls of the shoulders, a couple rolls of the head and neck. Find that mountain pose towards the front of your mat or wherever you're most comfortable. So feet can be hip width apart, maybe big toes touching, heels slightly apart. Anchoring down into the feet, drawing the kneecaps up. Scoop the belly in, roll the shoulders back, reaching up through the crown of the head. Inhale, sweep the arms up to the sky. Exhale, right hand down, reach up and over to the right. Inhale, up to center. Exhale, left hand down, up and over to the left. Inhale, up to center. And exhale, bend the elbows and open up the chest. Inhale, reach long. This time as you exhale, folding forward, leading with the chest. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, roll yourself up bone by bone, or sweep up with a nice long spine. And exhale, hands to your heart and by your sides. Again, inhale, sweep up. Exhale, right hand down, reach up and over to the right. Inhale, up to center. Exhale, left hand down, up and over to the left. Inhale, up to center. Exhale, bend both elbows, pulling them down and back, open the chest. Inhale, reach. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep or roll all the way up. Exhale, hands to your heart and by your sides. Again, inhale, sweep up. Exhale, right hand down, up and over to the right. Inhale, up. Exhale, left hand down, up and over to the left. Inhale, up to center. Exhale, bend the elbows, draw them down and back. Inhale, reach. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. This time as you exhale, bend the knees, hands to the mat, step the right knee, leg back, set the knee down for your low lunge. Take a moment, patting up the back knee as necessary, and inhale the torso up, hands to that front thigh. Just shifting the front knee forward and back in line with the foot a couple times. And stack the knee over the ankle and find that activation in the legs. So it's like you're going to draw that front heel towards the back knee, squeezing together to lift up out of the waist. And walk the fingertips up the sides, really reaching the fingertips towards the sky. And as you exhale, bend the elbows, open the chest, and pause here with your cactus arms. Good. So squeezing the shoulder blades, lifting up to the crown of the head, nice and active into those legs. And inhale, reach both arms up. And exhale, hands to the mat and shift the hips back, straightening into that front leg. And feel free to shift forward and back a couple times, finding all the movement into those joints before pausing in your half split, hips back and lifted. Drawing back with the left hip, finding a stretch in the front leg. Imagine melting the belly towards the front thighs. You keep the chest nice and lifted. Another breath here. And inhale to shift it forward, plant the right hand down, and sweep the left arm up to the sky, twisting open to the left. You can come up onto the fingertips, maybe add a prop under that bottom hand. You can even bring that bottom hand all the way up to the top thigh, finding a bit more lift if that feels better for you. And as you exhale, bend the top elbow, drop back and down towards the waist. Inhale, reach long overhead. Twice more, exhale, pull it back and down. Inhale, reach long. Exhale, pull it back. And inhale to reach long. Good. Exhale, take the hand to the mat, step the leg back. And you can join me for a flow or head straight back to child's pose or down dog. So finding your low plank or high plank. Exhale, lowering down to the belly. Inhale, lift the chest, baby cobra. And exhale, pressing back, child's pose or downward dog. It's your practice, so choose what feels best for you, maybe movement or stillness. A breath in, and a breath out. And then bend the knees, look to the hands, move the feet up to the hands. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep or roll all the way up. Exhale, hands to your heart by your sides. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, right hand down, up and over to the right. Inhale, up to center. Exhale, left hand down, up and over to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, bend the elbows, open the chest. Inhale, reach. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, bend the knees, plant the hands, step the left leg back, setting the knee down for a low lunge. Again, adding some padding before bringing the torso up, hands to the front thigh. Good. Shifting the front knee forward and back in line with the foot. Checking out all of those joints. And stack the knee over the ankle and find that activation in the legs, kind of squeezing, scissoring them together to lift up out of the waist. Walking the fingertips up the sides, all the way up to the sky. And exhale, bend the elbows, open the chest. Find those cactus arms. Good. So keeping those elbows about shoulder height, really pulling them back, dropping your shoulder blades down into your back pockets. At the same time, keeping the low ribs hugging in. Inhale, reach long. And exhale, hands to the floor. Shift the hips back, straightening the front leg. Again, feel free to shift forward and back. Hands can frame the front foot or both come to the inside. So taking up some space, making space for your body as it moves. Coming to a pause with the hips back and lifted for your half split. Good. Finding a nice long spine as you draw the right hip back. And sending breath to any place that needs a little bit more ease and space. Another breath. And inhale, shift it forward. Plant the left hand down or bring it up to the right thigh. And inhale, the right fingertips up overhead, twisting to the right. As you exhale, bend the top elbow, drop back towards the waist. Inhale, reach long overhead. Twice more, exhale, pull it back and down. Inhale, extend. Exhale, pulling back. And inhale, reach it long. As you exhale, bring that top hand to the mat, step the front leg back. Join me for a flow or head straight back. Exhale, lowering to the belly. Inhale, peeling the chest up. And exhale, pressing back, child's pose or down dog. Maybe moving the hips a little side to side. If you're in child's pose, you can roll out the wrists. Another breath. And bend the knees, look to the hands, move the feet up to the hands. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep or roll all the way up. Exhale, hands to your heart by your sides. Good. So maybe stepping the feet together or keeping them hip width. As you inhale, bend the knees, drop the hips, find your chair pose. Weights in the heels. Knees tracking over the toes. Maybe you can see your toes in front of your knees. Slight scoop to the belly so the low back's nice and long and strong. Another breath here. And exhale to fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, bend the knees, maybe plant the hands, step the right leg back, and find your high lunge. So just find a pause before you bring the torso up. Feet are on 2 train tracks. Back heel can be lifted or planted. And then inhale to sweep up. Just take a moment adjusting the legs. Front knee stacks over the ankle, drawing back with the right hip so you're squared off to the short edge of your mat. And as you exhale, bend the elbows, draw them down and back. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, down and back. Inhale, reach. And as you exhale, same thing, maybe adding the back knee, dropping it down towards the floor, any amount. Inhale, straighten the back leg, reach the arms. Twice more, exhale, bend. Inhale, reach. Exhale, bend. And inhale, reach and extend, pausing here. Good, and plant the back heel, opening up into your warrior 2. So squaring off towards the long edge of your mat. Back toes in slightly. Just straighten and bend the front knee a couple times, asking the hip to open up. Stacking the knee over the ankle, and really find that external rotation in both the thigh bones. Arms extend over the legs. Inhale, flip the front palm, reach forward and up, reverse your warrior. Back hand drops to the back leg. Maybe sinking a bit deeper into the front knee, really connecting into that front heel. And then inhale the torso up and exhale, reach forward for side angle, making contact with the front leg. Top arm can come to the hip, reach up to the sky or overhead. Good, so staying light in the bottom shoulder. As you exhale, bend that top elbow, draw it back and down towards the hip. Inhale to reach long overhead. Twice more, exhale, draw it down and back. Inhale, reach. Exhale, pull back. And inhale to reach. Another breath here, finding a little more length. And then bring the torso up, straighten the front leg, reverse the arms. Find all that space. And then hands come to the hips. Maybe walk the back foot in slightly for triangle. So we'll just start by shifting the hips back, reaching the torso forward, and then bringing it up to center. A couple times, finding that deep pivot and crease into the front hip. And then shift the hips back, reach the torso forward, extend that bottom arm long, and then release it wherever it falls on the front leg. Connecting into both big toes, drawing the kneecaps up like you're in your mountain pose. Rolling the top hip and shoulder open. Top hand can stay to the hip. Maybe reach up to the sky. It can even go overhead. So find a good place to pause and breathe here. Finding length in both sides. The torso nice and strong in the legs. And inhale, squeeze the legs, draw the torso up. Good. And bending into the right knee, shift the weight back, straightening that left leg. Find your side lunge. So start nice and high with the sole of the left foot planted, finding a stretch in that inner thigh. And then if you like, you can bring the fingertips down to the floor, maybe drop the hips lower and play with spinning the left toes up to the sky. It's going to look a little bit different on everyone depending on how you're built and your body's experience. So find what works for you here. Good, and then press into the right foot, shift the hips to center, bending into the left knee. Switch sides for a moment. Good, and then spinning the toes towards the front of your mat. Inhale up into your high lunge. And as you exhale, reach forward, shifting the weight to that front foot. Take a big graceful step or a couple small ones forward to your child's pose. Exhale, press through the heels to come up. Hands to your heart and by your sides. Take a breath here, finding your mountain pose. Inhale, bend the knees, drop the hips. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, bend the knees, plant the hands, step it that left foot back, finding your high lunge. And just pause a moment before you bring the torso up, finding your foundation nice and solid underneath you, and then bringing the torso up. Good, so front knee stacks over the ankle, drawing back with that right hip. Back heel can be planted or lifted. As you exhale, bend the elbows, draw them down and back, open the chest. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, pull it down and back. Inhale, reach. This time as you exhale, you can add that back knee, dropping it towards the floor, any amount. Inhale, reach the arms, straighten the back leg. Twice more, exhale to bend. Inhale, extend. Exhale, dropping it down and back. Inhale to reach. Good, and then as you exhale, plant the back heel, open up into your warrior two, the other side. Take a moment to adjust the feet, straighten and bend the front knee a couple times, letting it stack over the ankle, shoulder stack over the hips, extend the arms out long. As you inhale, flip the front palm, reach forward and up, reverse your warrior. Back hand falls to that back leg, finding a side stretch here. Inhale the torso up, and exhale, reach forward for side angle, making contact with that front leg. That back hand can start on the hip, helping it to roll open, staying nice and lifted out of the bottom shoulder. As you inhale, reach the top arm up overhead. Exhale, bend the elbow, pull it back and down towards the waist. Twice more, inhale, reach long. Exhale, down and back. Inhale, extend. And exhale to pull it back. Inhale, extend. Take a breath here. Then next inhale, sweep the torso up, straighten the front leg, reverse the arm. Bring the torso up, hands to the hips. Maybe walk that back foot in a little bit for your triangle. Hands to the hips. Start to shift the hips back, reach the torso forward, and then bring it to center a couple times. Find that deep crease into the front hip. Extend the torso forward, reaching that bottom arm out. When it can't reach any further, releasing it down to the leg wherever it falls. Top hand can stay to the hip, encouraging it to roll open. Maybe reaches up to the sky or overhead. So connecting into both big toes, really drawing the kneecaps up and reaching long in both sides of the waist, including that bottom side. Another breath here. And inhale, squeeze the legs, bring yourself up and bend down into the left knee. Good. Start with the sole of the right foot planted. You can stay up nice and high. Or maybe bring the fingertips down to the floor, really dropping in the hips and lifting the right toes up to the sky. It'll very much depend on how you're built and what works for your body. So take another breath in your side lunge of choice. Then inhale the hips up to center and exhale, bending into the right knee. Pausing here. Then spinning the toes towards the short edge of your mat. Inhale up into your high lunge. And as you exhale, reach it forward, take a big step, finding your chair at the front of your mat. Take a breath in as you hold, and exhale, release, forward fold. So here, just let everything go. You can step the feet out mat width, shift the hips a little side to side. Taking another breath here. Good, and then turn the toes out, keeping the heels in. You can have the hands on the floor or bring them up to the thighs. We'll just bend and straighten the knees a couple times, lowering and lifting the hips. Just make sure the knees and toes are going the same direction, whatever that is for your body. And then lower down and find your squat. So maybe you're up here with the elbows to the thighs. Maybe you're down here with the hips low and elbows between the knees. Wherever you are, you can shift a little side to side, checking in, see how all that feels. And then we'll drop that right hand to the floor or to the leg, and inhale the left arm up to the sky to twist. Take a breath. Exhale, release the left hand down, and inhale, twist the right arm up. breath here. Then exhale, release that hand down. Fingertips to the floor, straighten the legs, lift the hips, find another forward fold. Again, shifting a bit side to side, maybe forward and back. Nod the head yes, shake the head no. From here, just plant the hands, walk the feet back, finding one more down dog, maybe another flow before we all meet down in child's pose. So you can take a couple breaths to get here. Maybe when you get here, stacking the hands under the forehead or wrapping the arms around the side, finding a little bit of ease. Another breath. And then press into the hands, walk the torso up. Shift the hips to one side and swing the legs out around in front of you. Pull the love away from the sit bones, so you have a nice solid connection. And find staff pose, pressing the backs of the legs into the floor, toes drawing back towards the nose, scooping the belly in, reaching up through the crown of the head. You can have hands to the legs or maybe fingertips to either side. Just taking a moment, finding that strength in all four sides of the torso, strength in the legs. Good. And then we're going to take the hands behind you, plant the feet about hips width or so. So fingertips can point towards the hips or maybe out to the side. Take a breath in. As you exhale, press into the hands and feet. Lift the hips up any amount. So maybe you're just hovering here, just finding that activation. Maybe the hips come all the way up level with the knees. Take a breath. And then exhale, release it down. Good. Take a breath in to prepare, and as you exhale, press up into your reverse tabletop. So here, shifting the weight into that left foot. We'll lift the right foot up, cross the right ankle on top of the left knee, maybe pausing a moment, lifting the hips a little higher, and then release the hips down, coming into your figure four stretch. Good, so you can extend that left leg any amount, maybe come back onto the forearms. Just looking for a stretch in that right hip. Keeping the right ankle nice and flexed, making sure there's no discomfort in the right knee. Here you can find a little side to side movement. To bring this deeper, just draw that left heel in towards the hip and really lift the chest and press it towards that front leg. Another breath here. Good. And then, listening carefully, we're going to tip the legs over to that left side. Just pause here with this little twist. So maybe this works for your body, maybe not. Good. So take the hands all the way over to the left side, pressing into the hands, into the feet, lift the hips, and then you're going to walk the hands all the way around to your right side, letting the knees be soft, letting the legs twist in the other direction. Setting the right hip down on the ground so that right knee is on top of the left foot is on top of the right knee. And then you should be able to pick it up and find your figure four stretch to the other side. If that didn't work, no worries, just switching sides. So finding that figure four, whatever works for you, maybe extending that right leg long or pulling the heel in, up on the hands or back onto the forearms. Taking another breath here. And then unwinding the legs, just take those feet wide and windshield wiper the knees side to side. And let the knees drop to the right, finding those two 90-degree angles with the knees. Walk the hands all the way around to the right and take a look over the back shoulder, finding your best mermaid twist. So depending on how you're built, maybe this leg position works for you. Maybe you can stack the legs. You can stay lifted or play with folding the chest down. Maybe you really press into the left knee and find some extra length along that side. Then inhale it up to center and exhale the knees across to the left. And finding those two 90-degree angles, walking the hands all the way around to the left, maybe taking a look over the back shoulder. Two sides can be very different, so feel free to make any adjustments necessary. Inhale it up to center. And we'll take soles of the feet together, let the knees fall out. Finding that butterfly pose or cobbler's pose. And we'll just take the hands to the legs as you inhale, lengthen the spine, and exhale, fold forward any amount. So your choice here if you want to keep the spine long with the shoulders falling away from the ears, or maybe scoot the feet forward and just let everything round down. Forehead nice and heavy, shoulders heavy. They can both feel really good. Just depends on what your body is feeling like today. Maybe a little side to side movement, some wave-like movement in the spine. Another breath. And inhale, roll yourself up. Hands can help the knees back up to center. And we'll move down to the floor and find one. You can find some effort lowering one bone at a time. And when you get there, hugging the knees up into the chest. Any little side to side movement. And then bring the feet to the floor, walking the heels in towards the hips, arms down by the sides. Just tuck those shoulder blades in underneath you, anchoring down at the soles of the feet. As you inhale, press into the heels, lifting from the hips, the middle back, maybe all the way to that upper back. And exhale, lower it down one bone at a time, really drawing the tailbone towards the heels. Again, inhale, lifting up into your bridge piece by piece. And your choice, either staying and holding or keep moving with the breath. If you're holding, you can tuck the shoulders underneath you. Hands can grab the outside edges of your mat or maybe interlace behind the back. Staying connected to the full soles of the feet, reaching the knees long. Keeping the gaze up towards the sky to protect the neck. Another breath. And release on an exhale, lowering it down bone by bone. When the hips find the floor, soles of the feet together, knees fall out for that cobbler's pose. Or you could take the feet mat width, let the knees fall in towards each other for constructive rest. Wherever you are, just bring the hands to the belly. Maybe one hand to the belly, one hand to the chest. Just pausing for a moment, noticing anything that's coming up that's talking to you. And then from here, we'll move to Shavasana, our final resting pose. So maybe you stay where you are or take a more traditional Shavasana with the legs extended away from the body. Scooching the shoulders down away from the ears, letting the eyes softly close. Breathing in, breathing out. And pausing here for a few more moments. Your practice, you can stay here as long as you like. Otherwise, slowly start to deepen the breath. Find some movements in the fingers and toes, hands and feet. Extend the arms overhead for a full body stretch. Bend the knees, roll to your favorite side. Pausing there, or using the strength of the arms to press yourself up. Coming back to your comfortable seated position. Anchoring down into the sitting bones. Stacking the spine up one bone at a time. Roll the shoulders up towards the ears, down the back. and reach up through the crown of the head. Together we'll take a breath in through the nose, out through the mouth, in through the nose, out through the mouth, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Bring the hands together in front of the heart. Soft bow to the chin for some gratitude for making it to your mat today, for all your effort. Thank you for your presence and your practice. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a great rest of your day.